Bhaktir Naishtiki Mokam Karoti Vachalam Bangam Langete Kirim Yet Kripadam Hamande Shri Guru Dina Dharanam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishvara Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Budave Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Reshatharini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is about continuing with Puranjana story. Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 25th chapter, verse number 31. Okay, you can all unmute. We'll chant the verse. Vad Anandam Suprasutara Lochanam Dalam Vinilalaga Vrinda Samritam Unniyame Darshaya Valguvachakam Yatri Dayana Bhimukam Hare Krishna. So even if Bhagavatam slokas are chanted not properly, still it has its own effect and glories, especially in the month of Purushottam. So everyone, it's okay if you're not unmuting, but try to chant, okay? Don't think like I don't know Sanskrit, that is, nobody knows Sanskrit. It's not important. Krishna sees the bhav with which you chant. So try to chant, split the words into small words and then chant. Vad Ananam Suprasutara Lochanam Vyalam Vinilalaga Vrinda Samritam Unniyame Darshaya Valguvachakam Yatritaya Nabhimukam Shuchismite. Synonyms: Vad, your, Ananam, face, Subhru, having nice eyebrows, Sutara, with nice pupils, Lochanam, eyes, Vyalambi, scattered, Neela, bluish, Alaka Vrinda, by locks of hair, Samritam, surrounded, Unniya, having raised, me, unto me, Darshaya, show, Valguvachakam, having words very sweet to hear, Yat, with face, Vridhaya, by shyness, Na, not, Abhimukam, face to face, Shuji Smite, oh women with lovely smiles. Translation: My dear girl, your face is so beautiful with your nice eyebrows and eyes and with your bluish hair scattered about. In addition, very sweet sounds are coming from your mouth. Nonetheless, you're so covered with shyness that you do not see me face to face. I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me. Hare Krishna, Mani Jain Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Such a speech is typical of a living entity attracted by the opposite sex. This is called bewilderment, occasioned by becoming conditioned by material nature. When thus attracted by the beauty of the material energy, one becomes very eager to enjoy. This is elaborately described in this instance of Puranjana's becoming attracted by the beautiful woman. In conditional life, the living entity is attracted by a face, eyebrows, or eyes, a voice, or anything. In short, everything becomes attractive. When a man or woman is attracted by the opposite sex, it does not matter whether the opposite sex is beautiful or not. The lover sees everything beautiful in the face of the beloved and thus becomes attracted. This attraction causes the living entity to fall down in this material world. This is described in Bhagavad Gita 7.27. Ichha dvesh samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. O sign of Bharata, Arjuna, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, overcomes by the dualities of desires and hate. This condition of life is called avidya. Opposed to this avidya is real knowledge. Sri Isopanishad distinguishes between vidya and avidya, knowledge and ignorance. By avidya, ignorance, one becomes conditioned, and by vidya, knowledge, one becomes liberated. Puranjana admits herein that he is attracted by avidya. Now he wishes to see the complete feature of avidya and so requests the girl to raise her head so that he can see her face to face. He thus wishes to see the various features that make avidya attractive. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you, Mataji. Vad Ananam Suprasutara Lochanam Vyalam Vinilaka Vrinda Samritam Unniyame Darshaya Valguvachakam Yatri Dayana Bhimukam Shuchismite. Translation, my dear girl, your face is so beautiful with your nice eyebrows and eyes, with your bluish hair scattered about. In addition, very sweet sounds are coming from your face. Nonetheless, you are so covered with shyness that you do not see me face to face. I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me. So again, Puranjana is trying to see the beautiful face of Puranjani. Because of shyness, she's looking down. And so this means it's again for sense gratification. No, he's getting attracted by his senses, by his eyes and everything. So here, the note says he's asking for her to show her face. That means Puranjana is attracted by avidya. So Prabhupada mentions here about vidya and avidya. Okay, avidya means ignorance, right? The conditioned life is avidya or ignorance, and opposite is vidya. So avidya and vidya. Okay, there are two things, avidya and vidya, paravidya and aparavidya. So ours is called avidya, that what we are living now, that is ignorance. Avidya is ignorance. And vidya means knowledge by which one can liberate it. Okay, what is the main difference between avidya and vidya? What the main difference? So many are there, but what is the main thing?
Avidya binds to the material world. Vidya takes us back to the spiritual world.
Okay. Then?
Avidya is thinking oneself body in platform, and Vidya is real knowledge.
Yes.
And Vidya is real knowledge about thinking about soul.
About the soul. Good.
Any knowledge related to Supreme Personality of Godhead is Vidya, and
Vidya.
any apart from there it is Avidya.
Avidya.
Vidya is a new science, while Vidya is a science of Krishna.
Yes, good. Okay, what about the continuing in the next life? If you have Vidya, then?
Vidya will take us to upper...
What happened in the next life?
Vidya
will take us to upper planets, while the Avidya will take us to the lower planet.
Vidya liberates the soul, and thus he has a chance to go back to Godhead.
We continue where we left in the next life.
Yes, continue from where we left in this life, right? So, but then what happens to our all the degrees which we have in this life? We have to again start from LKG. We can't go. We can't go and say that, oh, last janma I was PhD, last janma I was so and so. So this janma you should give me the same degree. No, we have to start from A for apple, B for ball. We have to start like that. And what happens to Vidya? The real knowledge about the soul and about Krishna, we won't forget it, right? We start from where we stop. We can see example in some small kids and all. Nobody had teach them slokas. Nobody, naturally they remembers. Even any of you have experienced, you can raise the digital hands. Like you read some sloka, you already know this sloka, and you learn it like in 2 minutes. But then some slokas, it never enters your brain. Or some places, the dham, you have already seen it. Or some bhajans or something. Did you all feel that? That you already know this. And it just take like, you have already heard it. Or some, especially some slokas and bhajans, like you already learned it in 2 minutes. I had a friend and she like learns slokas like anything. But then some slokas, it gets stuck. That means that is in this life. But some slokas and all, we have already learned in previous life, just brushing up the memory in the consciousness. So because it's for the soul, right? Whatever spiritual things we are learning or we are understanding is Vidya, and it's coming from the soul. It's not coming from this body, the gray matter. Or no, it's Vidya or knowledge, and that will help us get liberated. So some might go back in this life, fine, but those are not going back. At least Shrichiram Srimadam Gehe going to be born in nice Vaishnava family will get attracted to Vidya. So anything related to Krishna is Vidya, the knowledge. and anything related to material things or conditioned life is avidya or ignorance. As Mataji said, we become conditioned or we become bound out here. So now this Puranjani is compared to avidya, right? Because that is not real knowledge. It's about her material body, which is made up of three material elements, kapha, vaya, pitta, right? It's just a bag of stool and urine. So he is getting attracted to avidya. Now Puranjana admits that, right? That he is getting attracted to avidya, and he wanted to see her face to face. Now, when I heard that word face to face, so the Paramatma feature is in this material body. Now, when you go to the spiritual world, there's no Paramatma feature. Why? There's no Paramatma. When you go to the spiritual world, why?
Because there's no duality in.
Okay.
Paramatma feature is limited to only this material world.
Yeah, Paramatma is in this material world. What about the spiritual world then?
He is already there.
Bhagavan is
He
there.
is
Bhagavan
already
is there.
present there, ma'am.
In Supreme Personality form.
So the Lord is already there in the spiritual world, face to face. Yeah, we can directly see him. Yes. So the Lord is in three different features: the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. And Brahman, yes, the effulgence, and the Paramatma, the localized feature in everyone's heart, Sarva Suchaham Hridi Sannivishtam. As Kshirodaya Vishnu, he says Paramatma in every living entities. That's because we are not we can't see him directly here. But once we go to the spiritual world, we are like removing this dress, the so-called material body, having a spiritual body, we go back. When we go back, we are already seeing Krishna face to face. Did you all imagine to see, we are all chanting, we are seeing the beautiful form of Krishna in the form of deity and pictures. Did you ever imagine the day when we all meet Krishna face to face and shake hands with him, or have a nice a conversation with him and have a pastime, get involved in the pastimes of Krishna? So seeing Krishna face to face, he is in the Swayam Bhagavan feature in front of you. Why do you want to have a localized feature? So the Paramatma feature is in this material world. And yes, we see Krishna face to face. So devotees like to see Krishna face to face, but now Puranjana, because so much in avidya that he wanted to see that Puranjani face to face so as to enjoy his senses, right? He wished to see, to make that avidya attractive. So Ishopanishad mantra 9, 10, and 11 also says about avidya and vidya. So big purports, you can all read. You can, I'm just quoting the sloka mantra 9, 10, 11. So much about vidya and avidya. Andam tama pravishyanti ye avidyam upasate tato bhuya ivate tamo yayuvityayam rataha. So here says those who are engaged in the culture of nascent activities, that is avidya, enter into the darkest region of ignorance that can go to hellish planets. And worse still are those who are engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge. The so-called knowledge is material knowledge. Okay, so what is the difference? Like if some non-devotees, atheistic person have knowledge and a devotee have knowledge, which is more dangerous? An atheist knowing Bhagavad Gita.
Atheist having
Knowledge is dangerous.
Why? If atheists know Bhagavad
because
Gita, then
his
what will
knowledge
happen?
he will utilize to distract
material.
To
Find out.
This is for material wealth.
Yes. So what is the analogy given by Prabhupada? The knowledge for an atheist, what analogy? What is it compared to? Someone who finished Bhakti Shastri in this batch?
A blind man with this another man, dumb man or something.
Blind man leading a blind man? Okay, almost close.
Not blind man leading with the what I'm saying, another, I forget the name.
The blind man
Dumb
carrying
man.
the dumb man.
Dumb man leading,
holding the light post.
Blind man and lame man?
Dwell on the cobra, Mataji.
Yes, Dandri Srimati. Good. Yes, the jewel on the cobra. So just imagine there's a cobra. It's already poisonous, no? Cobras. But then there is a jewel on the cobra. It is said that so many out of all many snakes, there'll be some snake, rare snakes have a jewel on the head of that cobra. That is more dangerous in the sense, the knowledge for or knowledge on the side of a non-devotee or an atheistic person is like that jewel on the cobra, which is like very, very poisonous. So Prabhupada mentions that in one of the purports, that that's very, very dangerous because they use it for sense gratification. These they use it to find fault with the devotees. And here, so it says that sense gratifications are worshippers of avidya, according to Sri Ishopanishad. And they use it in a negative way. They use it, it's a godless. See here, the advancement of learning by a godless people is as dangerous as a valuable jewel on the hood of a cobra. A cobra decorated with a valuable gel is more dangerous than not decorated. So that's why. So if there is advancement of education in a godless people, it's compared to decoration of a dead body. No use of decorating a dead body, no? So if godless people, somebody who don't believe in Krishna, atheist, they have a lot of knowledge. What is the use? No use. It's like a cobra decorated with a valuable gel. It's more dangerous. So vidya and avidya, we should be very careful whom we are giving our vidya. We should not instruct the glories of the holy name to a faithless person. Okay, which aparat is that? Can you put in the chat? There are 10 offenses. Which offense is that to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name? So we should not do that. So that's what this sloka says about vidya and avidya. So much is there you can learn, you can read. Verse 10, mantra 10 also says that Anyat evahur vidyaya, anyat ahur avidyaya, ideshu shrumadhiranam, yenastad vichachakshit. Yes, Haribol. Yes, the 9th offense, right? 9th offense is to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. No use of instructing, they'll misuse it. So once I remember I was taking the level 1 Bhagavad Gita course, and I was just seeing there was a person who always asked questions. And his name was supposed to be in some other religion. He belonged to some other religion. I was getting scared because the more he knows, but he was very intelligent. He was able to understand Bhagavad Gita. He had Bhagavad Gita as it is with him. And he was a sincere student trying to study. So initially I was suspicious about his character, because what if he is understanding Bhagavad Gita so as to find fault with it, or so as to use it in a negative way. But later on I understood, no, he said that he just is curious to know about every religion, and he came to know all the religion is same. Every religion talks about love of God. Prabhupada says that it's just a different way to reach Krishna. Krishna have different name. You may call in different name, but it's referring to the same person. So he's like, after my 18 days course, I understood that the conclusion is the same. So in the 10th verse, Ishopanishad says the wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge, and that is different result is obtained by the culture of nascence. So nascence is ignorance. Okay, now because of ignorance, what will happen? Because we are in ignorance or avidya, what can happen? What is the next step? According to Nectar of Devotion, chapter 1. We are in ignorance, okay? We are in avidya. Now what will happen if we are in avidya? What do we do? Prakash Prabhu?
We fall down.
Fall down. Before falling down?
Why
we lose our intelligence.
Yes, intelligence is lost. But why? I'm in avidya. Now what will I do? Something wrong? What wrong?
Because of avidya, we will develop a lot of desires.
We are carried away to material world.
Loss of memory and intelligence.
What desire, Prabhu, we'll have because of avidya?
We try to satisfy our senses.
We have sinful desires. What is that sinful desire called? Yes, Shubham Prabhu got it right. What is that sinful desire called as?
Bijam.
Bijam. Because of avidya, we'll have bijam, or the sinful desire. And what is the next step, Vilas Prabhu? After bijam?
Kutam.
Before kutam. You had the desire, so you'll do the papa, no? So that's papa, right? Now, first is avidya. Because of ignorance, you have sinful desire. You are in avidya, so sinful desire is called bija. And once you have the desire, you have to do the papa, no? So that's papa. And then after doing papa, aprarabdha stage, that is unmanifested. You are not getting arrested for your sin. Then kutam. Then it's kutam. Okay, that is you feel like doing the sin again and again. Okay, I'll just share this image. So you can all go through this in Nectar of Devotion, chapter 1. It's not so clear, but still somehow we can manage. So here you can see, because of avidya or ignorance, there is bija or sinful desire. Because of avidya, okay, we are in ignorance. I don't know Shastra, I don't know I'm soul, I'm just thinking I'm this body. So because of that, I have a lot of desire, sinful desire to become rich faster, So many things. That's called bija. Bija means like a seed. The desire will be like a seed in your heart. Because of the desire, you'll do papa. You'll do the sinful action, right? Once you do the papa, there are two reactions that's coming because of sin. Aprarabdha, that is unmanifested, and prarabdha, manifested. Aprarabdha means I have robbed the bank. Now I'm awaiting the arrest. That means I've done the sin and I'm waiting the sin for the next life. In next life, I might suffer. That's called aprarabdha. It didn't come. The reaction didn't come yet. Because I'm not arrested by the police, I feel like doing the sin again and again. That's called kutam. So you just concentrate on this cycle. Okay. If you know this, you're safe. Now, so because of avidya, we have sinful desire like bijam. Because of that bijam, we do the papa. Once I do the papa, there are two reactions, prarabdha and aprarabdha. First comes aprarabdha, unmanifested reaction that I'm awaiting arrest in next life. What is the examples of prarabdha karma? Any examples of prarabdha? What we are suffering?
Dhritarashtra Mataji.
No. That is example of persons. The example of karma, what we are reaction suffering. Prarabdha karma. Like, what are the things we are suffering?
Chronic disease, then legal actions.
Legal actions, disease, good. Then born in an poor family.
And body, and
Yes,
ugly looking body.
Ugly, very nice. Yes. So these are the prarabdha manifestation. Like I'm born in a poor family. That means I have done sin in previous life. If I'm born ugly, that means I've done sin in previous life. Or I have some chronic disease like cancer or something. Or I have legal implication. I have gone some legal cases, undergone some legal or going to the court for some cases. That's all prarabdha karma. That's because of the sin I have done in my previous life. Or I'm illiterate, I'm not educated. That's also prarabdha karma. So if somebody of us are having some disease, some born in a poor family, not educated, looking ugly, and having some legal implications, some cases and court cases and all that, that means these are the prarabdha reaction. This is the manifested reaction in our life from previous life. We have done sin in our previous life and we are suffering the fruitive actions of that reaction. So that is manifested reaction. That means I have already got arrested. And because of that, I suffer klesha. I'm put in the jail. So this is the cycle. So we need to cut the cycle at the stage of avidya itself. Don't wait for bija. We have to cut it avidya. That's what Krishna consciousness is about. That's why Prabhupada gives us the books and the shastras so that we cut the stages in avidya itself. Now, how do you cut at avidya? What is the best process to cut this cycle?
Chanting.
Devotional service, right? Any devotional service, chanting, shravanam, kirtanam, all that will help us break this bond. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 15th chapter, verse 169, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains this verse is from Padma Puran. I'm just quoting the verse from Padma Puran. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam palonmukam kramenaiva praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. There are different stages of sinful reactions like observed in a sinful life. The reaction can be waiting, that is phalonmukha. Reaction will be dominant, kuta. It can be a seed form, bija. Any type of sinful reactions, all type of sinful reaction are vanquished one after another if a person engage in devotional service to Lord Vishnu. Haribol. So that means prarabdha karma also get destroyed, right? Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukam. Everything get destroyed. Aprarabdha means awaiting. Aprarabdha means I'm awaiting the reaction in my next life. I have done sin in this life. I mean, I have robbed something, someone, I killed someone, something, and somehow I escaped the law court. And then next life, I'm awaiting the sin. No, I'll suffer. That's called aprarabdha. Then phalam is the fruit. Papam, the sin which I did. Kutam, sinful disposition, feeling like doing the sin again and again. Bijam, the desire. Phalanmukha means prarabdha karma. So all this, kramanaiva praliyate, slowly get destroyed. For whom? Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam, those who worship Krishna or Lord Vishnu. So only if you worship, do devotional service, it get destroyed. So prarabdha karma is also getting destroyed. No, for a devotee who is doing devotional service, prarabdha means what I'm suffering now is also getting destroyed, but still the devotees suffer. Why? We all are suffering, no? Why? We are doing devotional service. I'm chanting Hare Krishna. I'm reading Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavatam. Still, why am I suffering? Because Krishna says in Padma Purana that aprarabdha phalam kutam bijam, everything gets destroyed. And why a devotee still suffers? Why?
To speed up the reaction.
Huh?
To speed up the reaction so that
To speed up the reaction.
So the purification will be speedy.
To speed up the reaction, but here to speed up the process of going back home, back to Godhead. But then it is said that we'll not suffer, no? Everything gets crushed. The sinful reaction gets crushed, no? Sinful vanquished, no? When you do devotional service.
Hare Krishna Mataji. In case of suffering, we are more closer to the Lord Krishna. That is the reason, like nice. The prayer of Kunti, he is asking more and more repeatedly same type of sufferings. Hare.
Yes. So unless Krishna gives us some kind of suffering, we will become so comfortable in this material world. As yesterday Ramesh Prabhu was saying, nobody will like to leave this material world. Everyone wants to live here only. Oh, this life is so nice. I'm chanting Hare Krishna. I'm doing all devotional service and I don't have any problems. Let me continue in this life. That sincere desire to go back home, back to Godhead won't be there. It's as Prabhu said, it's Krishna's special mercy. Yasyaham anugrashyami harishye tadannam sane tyatodanam tyajantyasya swachana dukkha dukkhitam. Krishna takes everything, especially money and everything, from a pure devotee, so that a pure devotee doesn't get attracted to any sinful things. But yes, Shubham Prabhu, as you said, we are not pure devotees, but still we are in the process. Here it is not mentioned you should be a pure devotee. No, if a person is engaged in devotional service, Krishna takes away. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Krishna says, yes, it depends on our surrender to Krishna, but still anyone chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna will take special care. Krishna will minimize the reaction. Why? This Krishna's special mercy to make us understand this material world is not your place. Try to come back. The devotee, even though doing devotional service, there are a lot of problems. That's Krishna's special mercy. Tatteno kampam susamikshamanam bunjana evatmakritam vibhagam vritvakvabhupir vritadan namaste jive reye muktipade satayapat. Still, Krishna also tests you. When you undergo such reactions, Krishna is testing. Are you still continuing my devotional service or just giving up your bhakti? Hare, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Krishna is not taking care of me. People say that, you are Krishna, ISKCON devotee, or you are chanting. And why you're suffering? Why all this is happening to you? It's special mercy of Krishna. Krishna is checking whether you are still staying in devotional service. So if you still continue in devotional service, mukti pade sadayabak, you become the right candidate to get liberation or the mercy of Krishna. So this is what Padma Purana says. This is a very encouraging verse which saying that all the sinful reactions get crushed by Vishnu Bhakti. But a condition applied. What is that condition? We should not
continue the devotional service.
We should not repeat the sin while doing devotional service. We should not repeat like an elephant taking bath, right? In the water and coming to the sand and putting the sand on top. Which offense is that? Put in the chat. They're doing committing sinful activities on strength of chanting the holy name. Which it comes in which offense of the holy name? The 10 out of 10 offenses. Okay, so by doing devotional service, all the reactions gets crushed. Yes, 7th offense. Good. So the 7th offense, Prabhu, it's not 6th. 7th offense says that to commit sinful activities on strength of chanting the holy name is wrong. Namnad balad yasyahi papa buddhi. Namnad balad yasyahi. Oh, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. That bala you have. But then papa buddhi, you do papa, then that's the greatest offense. Okay, so it says unless one is freed from sinful life, we cannot become a Vaishnava. Okay, so we have to surrender completely. A fully surrendered Vaishnava is complete of all the material infections. So I'll stop with this saying that by doing bhakti, it's like fire. Krishna says to Uddhava, my bhakti is like fire. It gets, the fire will destroy everything. What happens when a forest fire comes? All the animals try to escape, but one animal just gets stuck there. Which animal?
Snake.
Yeah, snakes cannot just go fast. Right? All the four-legged animals flee away from the forest fire. Whenever there is a forest fire, we can so many animals try to run away. because they have the 4 legs. But the snakes, they can just, they can't move so fast. The snakes can't move so fast. They'll be just coming. And then the snakes will get burnt. Most of the snakes get killed in the forest fire. So Prabhupada mentions in the Padma Purana, it's mentioned that similarly, all the avidyas and everything are very slow. Slowly they go away from us, anarthas. But when we do devotional service, that's like a forest fire. Samsara dhava nanali the loga. The material world is like forest fire, and the bhakti which we do is like fire that will burn all the anarthas in us. The snakes are compared to the anarthas, or the avidya will get destroyed by vidya or knowledge. Jnana deepena bhashvara. So it's Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they're all knowledge, real knowledge in which avidya gets destroyed. So the sinful desire has to be taken away from us. So Krishna says to Uddhava in the 11th canto, Yadagni shushrudaramshi karoti etamsi basmasa tatamat vishaya bhaktir udvedhera. Krishna sa, Uddhava, how a fire burns the firewood to ashes, similarly my bhakti will burn all your karma, all your sinful reactions to ashes. So this is the verse, 11th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 19. Yadagni, Agni means fire, susrudaramchi karoti etamshi basmasa. The Agni or the fire makes the wood to basma. Similarly, tada mat vishaya bhakti. Uddhava, those who do bhakti or devotion service to Krishna, Uddhavainaisha Krishna sa. So what happens, my dear Uddhava? Just as a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, similarly, devotion to me completely burns to ashes the sins committed by devotees. And in the purport, Prabhupada mentions, the sin you might commit in next life also get destroyed. That's so powerful it is. Okay. So this is how Krishna, so the devotional service is not a silly thing. What we think, what we are doing is chanting the holy name. It is crushing all our karma from previous life. So much karma is getting burned out. Sometimes devotees have small cuts in the hand, some accidents, and just, recently my friend had a car accident and the car went into scrap. So much it was crushed. Nobody went near the car because they thought like she's gone. Just seeing the car, so much bleeding and everything. But she escaped. Nothing happened. It was just a hairline fracture. So it was some karma. Something, it just went away. But Krishna, how miraculously protecting the devotees. How much? Because just because she was chanting the holy name, so much she used to chant and do so much devotional service. So that Name Ruchi, once we get the holy name, the what we are doing now, and especially when you do in Purushottam month, it's like 1,000 times better, 16,000 times. Especially in Kartik month. So this is not a simple thing what we are doing, right? Those around us might be enjoying now, but they'll suffer in future, in next life. But we are going to escape because we are going to have vidya. We are having the real knowledge of the soul, and we are giving the food to the soul. So the blazing fire will turn the firewood to ashes. Krishna says, devotion to me completely burns to ashes the sin complete by the devotee. So that's why devotional service is so important. Why we are telling repeatedly again and again? Why? Because so as we become fixed in devotional service, so that we don't give it up. Sometimes we feel that what am I doing? I'm not neither a pure devotee. I'm not going to go back in this life. I don't know so many slokas. I'm a neophyte. When will I become a pure devotee? Others are all advancing. What am I doing? I'm stuck somewhere. Don't get disappointed. These slokas encourage us by saying that, don't worry. You are crushing your sins. You're crushing your sinful reactions, right? So that you don't have to come back again. And you don't have to, at least in next life, we won't have any chronic disease. At least in next life, we won't be born in a poor family. At least in next life, we won't have any legal implications, or we'll be educated, we'll be beautiful. Why? So that we can continue our devotional service. So this is always a permanent bank balance for all of us. We can't take our credit balance or credit card or anything for next life, but we can take this credit of devotional service. Every mala you do, the japa, or every sloka you learn, or every Bhagavatam class you hear, it's a permanent deposit for all of us. Hare Krishna, Sureka Mataji.
Mataji, I have a question. Like we see that these beautiful ladies, especially the film actresses and all, they are born in rich families, they have beautiful bodies, they are healthy, everything, but their behavior is absolutely against the devotional activities. Then since they have earned these many good things, they must have done something good in the previous life. Then why
Definitely.
they are not continuing with the devotional service?
Devotional service, no? Again, some karma is binding, because to do devotional service, they need a mercy of a Vaishnava. They should have done some Ajnada Sukritis also, no, Mataji. So because of just punya, no, these born in rich family, being beautiful, educated, that can be the result of your pious activities also. You can go to heavenly planets and then come back and born in a rich family. But that doesn't mean you were devotee from previous life, right? So, but if a Vaishnava, if you get a mercy of a Vaishnava, such souls can also be dragged to devotional service. That's what Srila Prabhupada did, no? Prabhupada gave the mercy to everyone. So in that way, but if we are born in rich family, we are educated, we are beautiful and all, we don't have any disease, that means we have done some pious activities, and we should not waste this human form. We should use it in Krishna's service. This Krishna is showing in Bhagavad Gita, saying that because such people don't have to bother much about their maintenance. No, everything is taken care by Krishna. Because of your punya, you got such an opportunity so that you continue your devotional service. But yes, because of Maya is so strong, Mataji, that people forget that they are born to continue their devotional service. But in case they get the mercy of a Vaishnava, if somebody gives the book of Srila Prabhupada to them, or that's why preaching is happening now in ISKCON, so that they remember what they have done in previous life and they come back to Krishna consciousness. Most of the time, what happens when you're born in a rich family, you get lost in Maya. You go on to sense gratification. But somehow Krishna will bring them back. Somehow. Yeah, when we are wealthy in life, we go away from Krishna. Yes, Shubham Prabhu. That's what happened, because Maya is like that, tricks us. But then, if we are so fortunate, Brahmande Brahmate Kono, Bhagavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Kripai Pai Bhakti Lata Beach, if Krishna wants you to come near him, Krishna will send someone, his representative, like a guru, to come to take you back home, back to Godhead. Okay, so it's in Krishna's hands. So Krishna decides, he knows. Might be that soul had some sense desire to enjoy sense gratification in previous janma. So Krishna gives you all the arrangements. You're born in a rich family and everything, so that you can have nice sense gratification. So that small desire might have been there. So like a sweet father, Krishna is fulfilling a desire. But somehow, not somehow, by the mercy of Krishna, some Vaishnava will come in their life. And through the mercy can come in many ways. It can come in prasadam, it can come as a book of Srila Prabhupada, it can come as a Vaishnava, it can come in so many ways. So somehow it's the duty of us to spread Krishna consciousness so that they understand what's their real position, try to go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Next 3 days, Pran Chaitanya Prabhu will continue. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. After that, we'll see. I think Mataji will be back by this month end. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhe vaja patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anand Kodi Vaishnavadya ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.